Howdy everyone and welcome back to the Game Team. We got a great show for you this week with the Game Awards 2025 nominees, the first look at the Legend of Zelda movie, and an Xbox partner showcase. When I said we were having a mini E3 last week, I was mostly joking, but yeah, let's get straight into our headlines. Jeff Keighley announced earlier this week the nominees for the Game Awards 2025. The Game of the Year nominees for this year are Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Really fantastic lineup. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is definitely the highlight of the year though, as it leads with 12 nominations, the most in show history, with nominations in game direction, narrative, score and music, and multiple voice acting nominations. Following in its lead is Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei with 7 nominations, Hades 2 with 6, Hollow Knight Silksong with 5, and Split Fiction with 4. And while it didn't get the nom for Game of the Year, Indiana Jones did get a nom in Action Adventure, although I do suspect that Death Stranding 2 will and should get the win in that category. As for publishers, Sony leads with 19 nominations, Kepler Interactive with 13, EA and Microsoft with 10, and Sega, Supergiant, and Team Cherry with 7, 6, and 5 respectively. It won't be long till we get to see who takes away the wins in every category, and we'll be sure to deliver you an episode the morning after the show covering all the winners and announcements as the Game Awards takes place on December 11th. Following leaks from the set, Nintendo officially revealed first look pictures of the Legend of Zelda movie. The pictures give us our first look at Bo Bragason's Zelda, who seems to be taking hints from Zelda's Breath of the Wild look, and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth's Link, who is sporting Link's classic and iconic green tunic. Miyamoto shared that filming is progressing smoothly and that its theatrical release is set for May 7, 2027. Moving away from Hollywood, Overwatch revealed its newest hero this week with Vendetta, the first ever melee-focused DPS. She will be a dive-focused hero with unique defensive mechanics, being also able to throw her massive greatsword, the Palatine Fang. She seems to be very similar to Magic from Rivals, if that comparison helps you get an idea. Players will be able to get the chance to trial her on November 26th, and she will officially launch with the new season on December 9th. ArenaNet announced Guild Wars Reforged, a new way to play the original Guild Wars in one low bundled price, this week to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the franchise. For just $20, the new edition will have support for the Steam Deck and modern controllers, include a redesigned UI, feature numerous visual and audio updates such as ambient occlusion and lighting updates, and a new quest tracking system as well as an on-screen control guide. It launches on December 3rd and as always will not require a subscription to play, just the entry price. That wasn't the only remaster announcement this week, as Bandai Namco announced Tales of Berseria Remastered. The remaster will feature new features like destination markers, the ability to disable enemy encounters, and of course the inclusion of all DLC from the 2016 version. The remaster feels a little odd as the original is still fairly accessible, but it will be nice to have a definitive package of one of the best Tales games when it launches on February 26th next year. It's been a busy week for Tomb Raider news as Netflix released the trailer for Season 2 of Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. The premise seems to focus on chasing a trail of stolen masks as she goes on a globe-trotting adventure with her best friends Sam and Zip. We do get shots of her dual-wielding pistols, so we'll take that as a win. The final season premieres on Netflix on December 11th. Asper, the studio behind the recent Tomb Raider remasters, shadow dropped Tomb Raider Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 this week. The port brings the 2013 game to the consoles with all the DLC and even the multiplayer mode is included. And if you buy before November 24th, you get a 10% discount. Hytale has been saved. Simon Collins LaFlame, the founder of Hytale, announced that he secured the rights back to the game from Riot Games. They have rehired more than 50 developers and have basically reverted back to the version of Hytale that was in development before the engine switch at Riot. He says they plan to launch in early access soon with a $20 price point with exploration and creative mode as well as modding. A video showing off the game was released to celebrate the announcement that actually looked very promising, especially the combat, which looked absolutely fantastic. Excited to see Hytale maybe finally getting a publicly playable version. Best luck to the team. And before we move on to the partner showcase, Ninja Kiwi, the team behind the Bloons series, announced a brand new game this week with Bloons Blitz. It seems to basically be a Vampire Survivors version of Bloons, so very excited to play that in the near future. Xbox held a partner showcase this week with new game announcements and even some shadow drops. The show opened up with Armadus, a third-person roguelike shooter where you'll face off demonic horrors in a gothic horror-inspired world, and it's set for a 2026 release. Then we saw the Mount Omen of Cthulhu, a co-op horror game based on H.P. Lovecraft stories, Dave the Diver getting an Xbox port that is out right now, and a gorgeous Metroidvania in Crowsworn that seems very inspired by Hollow Knight. Coco Cumber unveiled a sequel to Echo Generation, bringing back the supernatural setting combined with like every 80s and 90s movie, and Ponkel, the creator behind Vampire Survivors, announced Vampire Crawlers, a deck-building roguelike dungeon crawler that looks just as addicting as the original game, and launches in 2026. Then, following a look at the Aston Martin Valhalla in 007 First Light and Roadside Research, a multiplayer game where you play as aliens trying to run a roadside shop as humans, the creators of Turbo Overkill revealed Total Chaos, an amazing looking survival horror FPS that was easily one of my highlights, and we don't have to wait long to play it as it is available right now. Following that, Reanimal, the Nets game from the Little Nightmares team, got a release date of February 13th, Erosion, an isometric action western game that sees you dying and respawning every 10 years, was revealed, and Zoopunk, a prequel to Fist forged in Shadow Torch, was also revealed. Super excited for that last one as the new third-person combat looks really great. The final announcements of the show were Clover Pit, a gambling game where you quite literally gamble for your life, and one of my personal highlights that is available right now, the Hitman Eminem vs Slim Shady elusive target reveal, Raji Kaluga, a sequel to Raji, and a nice in-depth boss battle from Tides of Annihilation, which looked absolutely fantastic and features the very talented voice of Jennifer English. Cannot wait to play that last one. For a small 30-minute partner preview, I think Xbox put on a pretty good show overall. And that wraps up this week of TGP. November continues to be an exciting month, and with the Game Awards on the horizon, it seems the year still has a lot for us to look forward to. We will be taking a 1-week break for Thanksgiving next week, but make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you know when we are back from our break. I've been your host, Brandon Nominees, and I'll see you all soon.